Is The Batman the best Batman movie of all time?
Oh.
We're going to figure it out. Guys, welcome back to the Jersey Comic Crew. Chris and Rob here, as always. And we are talking where the Batman kind of lands in the pantheon of live-action Batman movies. We've had some great ones, Rob.
Yes.
We've had some bad ones. Where does the Batman lie for you in your top 5, your top 3, your bottom 3, wherever?
This movie, it's very good, but it is nowhere near as good as Batman and Robin with Mr. Freeze as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Who killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
Oh, my God. No, all jokes aside, I really enjoy that movie. I know it's a bad movie, but I'll watch that movie anytime. All right.
If you're over 21 and you understand what I'm talking about, watch that movie. It is a great time.
If you're not, just watch it. It's sweet. If you know who Arnold Schwarzenegger is.
It's hilarious.
No, all honesty, though, this is really hard for me because right after the movie, I was thinking to myself, this is the best Batman movie I've ever seen.
That's with you in every movie, though.
I know. That's why we waited.
He sees Jurassic Park and he's like, this is the best Batman movie I've ever seen.
This is the best Batman wasn't in it. I thought he was reading a Batman comic. That's why we waited a couple of days, so I have some time away from the movie to kind of like let my creative juices sit down. This is my number 2 Batman movie of all time, without a doubt.
What is it you do number 2?
My number 1 is The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger's Joker. I think was the renaissance of my love for comic books and like these movies. I was like, oh, I really do love all this. This is, oh my God, this is amazing. Like I thought I loved it, but now I know I love it. Right? It's so well done. But I think the Batman movie here, I think it's a very close second, to be honest with you. I feel like this movie does a lot of things very well that you need for a Batman movie. The detective element of Batman is stronger in this movie than it's ever have been in any other Batman movies, right? The other Batman movie, like The Dark Knight, the villain was just so prominent and so well done that I'm like, okay, that's why it's my number 1. Like, it does such a good job. It was almost like a Joker movie, more so than a Batman movie, if you want to think about it. But one thing I really want to give kudos to this movie is the fact that it made Gotham a character. And it actually felt like a dark and dreary place. It felt like it was the slums. You didn't want to really be there. Danger was around every corner. In every other Batman movie, it was just some generic city. The only other movie that did Gotham justice and making it dark and like a dangerous place was Batman Returns. That is not on my top list, though. My top list, again, 1 is The Dark Knight. 2, very close, is The Batman. And 3 is Batman Forever with Jim Carrey and
I don't
Tommy
know why
Lee
I love
Jones.
that movie so much. It's so stupid,
it's the
but I love
Riddler.
it.
It's Two-Face.
It's
I'm like, we're getting these big flamboyant characters. Jim Carrey was amazing. And whenever I hear the Riddler, that's who I view as. It's a campy movie. It might not be the best movie, but it's my movie.
And it was when we were kids. Like, it's pure
Exactly.
90s. It's just pure 90s.
It was close. It was either that or the Batman and Robin with Mr. Freeze.
Oh,
I don't
God,
know, man. I enjoy that movie.
It's just so bad. We
so
enjoy it because it's
campy.
so hilariously bad.
Yeah.
It is just so bad.
I like Bane in it. Bane was cool. When I was a kid, I was like,
It's
oh.
so bad. He's a Pokemon. He's
Yeah,
like, he just
looking
says his
back
name.
now, I'm like, this is stupid. Well, when you're like a young lad, I don't know how old I was, 7 or 8 or whatever age you want to put here. I'm like, oh, he's a big guy. He's scary. And now I'm like, wait, Bane talks? I remember reading, I was like, Bane can actually talk? I'm like, oh. And
He has a pump-up button.
He's really good. You read City of Bane by Tom King, you're like, oh my God, he's prolific. Oh my God, that movie did everything wrong. But you didn't know that when you were 80 euros. Yeah.
Yeah, I did a reverse order, so I have a top 5 I want to run through really quick.
What is it?
Number 5 would be Batman Forever. Again, Jim Carrey grew up in that era, the 90s, where that was just fantastic. Val Kilmer killed it after
Fair enough.
had that scheduling conflict. Number 4 is Batman Begins.
Okay.
Underrated film for me with the Nolan universe. I think it's a great origin. Liam Neeson is awesome in that movie too, as Ra's al Ghul. I think it's a phenomenal kind of rebirth of the Batman.
It was
mythos.
a great start for the trilogy.
Number 3, Batman 89, Batmania. Before we had our, amazing Heath Ledger, Jack Nicholson was the joke. That storyline, the first time you got to see Gotham and the first time you ever see anything like that as far as, holy crap, like this is Batman on screen. I love that movie. And then, Rob, number 2 and 1 are the same. I think The Batman is number 2 and The Dark Knight is number 1. Yeah. And the reason is because when I look at the Dark Knight compared to the Batman, there's nothing in it that I'm like, oh, they could have done this differently, or I didn't really fully get this. For the Batman, as much as I love it, the ending water scene still just kind of sticks out to me as a little bit out of place, or a little bit redone, or pieced together, a little messy, I would. Some of the kind of like, let's make it bigger and tie it into bigger, and I understand why they're doing it, right? They're setting it up for other stuff. But I feel like Dark Knight had that beginning, middle, end just wrapped up in that movie. It was focusing just on that movie, and they still did a sequel, right? Like, it didn't need to leave the door open. You knew there was one coming.
Here's
stuff like
a question. We didn't talk about this in a review, but what a perfect time to talk about it.
Yeah.
Which movie had the better car chase scene? The Batman or The Dark Knight? Which one had the better car chase scene?
Oh, the Batman.
I think so too.
The Batman hands down has the best car chase scene of any Batman movie.
It was fantastic.
Which is odd because it's not really a Batmobile yet, right?
It's not. It's just like
muscle car with a jet engine.
Yeah, with a jet. He stole a jet engine, put it on his car, and like, let's go.
It's amazing. And also because the musical score of the Batman's fantastic. The music might be the best in any Batman movie since like the 90s Batman with the dun 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 dun. dun. So like, I love that as well when they're doing the chase scene and they slow it down and then they punch it right when, like, there's these beats that hit that they matched up while Penguin's hitting the water things on the highway at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, the little things in that chase scene are phenomenal.
When you're looking at the chase scene for me, and why I almost put this as number one, it's kind of each chase scene kind of defines that Batman for those movies, right? If you look at The Dark Knight, right? It's like two warriors are going to battle. Like this one, he's like, I'm gonna punch, I'm gonna do this. While as the Batman, you go there, you feel this like presence of the Batman's larger than life. He strikes fear and terror to everybody else, and people fear him. And there's still this air of mystery around him of what's going on, this darkness. And he walks up to Penguin, and Penguin's like scared that he's coming there. Two very different feels. And like this feel that I'm getting with the Batman, I enjoy very much. I enjoy it more than The Dark Knight. That's why I feel like, hot take here, if Robert Pattinson does get 3 movies, I think he's going to become the best Batman forever. But that's just my take, because you have fantastic writing behind it and a creative team that understands what you really need to have a successful Batman.
Exactly. And to add on that, Rob, the aspect of the chase scene in The Dark Knight, right? It's very action adventure. It's not detective the way the Batman is. The Batman is pure detective movie, which is also why I love it so much. It's so different than any other Batman, whether it's what Rob was saying earlier, the 90s campy feel, or the dark nostalgic glasses through a rubber suit. Or Chris Nolan's Batman opera, in a sense. But I don't know, man. I still think Dark Knight holds up as the greatest Batman movie ever.
I think we need to stop talking about this, because I might change my answer to make the Batman my number one. We want to know where this movie stacks up on the list of live-action Batman movies for you guys. Let us know down below.
And guys, thanks so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up, like, really helps the channel out a lot. If you're new, subscribe, turn on notifications. You obviously don't want to miss any more of our chats, whether it's Batman-related, DC, Marvel, Star Wars, anything, you know it's going to be here. And if you missed anything, check it out right here on the channel. And as always, I'm Chris Heller. That's Rob Moran. We're the Jersey Comic Crew, and we'll see you next time.